Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. WildMax1 here bringing another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be doing another champion guide on a recent acquisition for my account. One of the best revivers and turn meter fillers in the entire game. I'm talking of course about the Void Legendary support from the Dwarf faction, Senna Amberheart. So today I'll be breaking down her kit for you, showing you how to build it for maximum effectiveness in both PvE and the arena, and finally doing a Doom Tower Hard and Arena Showcase. So with that, let's get into it. So Senna was released in May of 2024, and since then has made her way onto some of the top performing teams in Chimera, Hydra, and Demon Lord Clan Boss. She brings incredible heals, turn meter boost, and AoE revive, making her relevant in PvE and the arena alike. So with that, let's take a look at her kit and see what makes her so special. Starting off with her A1, Amber Thrust. Attacks one enemy, has a 50 booking up to 60% chance to instantly activate a continuous heal buff on each ally. All right, that's going to come into play once we check out her passive, but for now, it's a really nice heal, especially considering that she does bring continuous heals on her A2. Moving on now to her A2, Touch of Gold. Places a 30% increased speed and 2 continuous heal buffs on all allies for 2 turns. Also fills the turn meter of everybody by 20%, 5 turn on a 3 turn cooldown. So this is really a great example of how much ramp she brings to your team. Increased speed and 20% turn meter fill. Just that alone would make her a really great arena speed buffer. However, again, the combo, continuous heal, plus activation of her continuous heal on her A1, all that's going to come into play and tie together once we get to her passive. On her A3, Edge of Death. Revives all dead allies, 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Right there, AoE revive. Really solid, already good. Then teams up with all allies that were revived to attack the enemy with the lowest HP. They're all going to be using their A1s. This is on a 6-turn, booking down to a 4-turn cooldown. So in Arena, you can see how this is going to be good. Huge momentum swing. If you can suddenly raise up all your allies, especially your squishy damage dealers, and then they all go in and take out the lowest HP enemy, which if everybody is at full HP is probably going to end up being their damage dealer. So this can be a complete momentum swing in the arena, and everywhere else it's just really good. Again, if you happen to have a damage dealer lost in a Hydra battle, then suddenly she revives everybody and they can come in and at least do their A1 and get you back on track to start doing damage. So it'd be too bad if you do miss a turn or two because of a dead damage dealer. Great AoE revive, one of the best in the game. And finally, moving on to her passive that's going to tie the whole kit together, Healing Glow. Whenever a continuous heal buff activates on any ally, fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. And yes, that does stack. At the end of this champion's turn, increases the duration of a continuous heal buff on a random ally except this champion for 1 turn. So that's just a nice way to make sure that you have continuous heals that are going to be able to continue to roll as you're going to progress through the turns. But this is the turn meter, masterclass. This is really what sets her apart from pretty much every other champion in the game. I think the only other champ that can come close to the turn meter fill that Senna offers is Androck. But even for that, you have to have crits that trigger the turn meter fill. And so it's not as reliable because you're never going to have a team full of 100% crit champions, whereas this just activates whenever continuous heal goes off. So she's healing your whole team. And then as an added bonus, you're getting turn meter for all those heals. This is an incredible passive and what makes her one of the strongest PvE champions in the entire game. Finally, to cap it all off, nice speed aura in all battles. Excellent kit on an amazing champion. Looking now at her total stats, we see just under 19k HP. Great for support. Nothing crazy there, but again, she does not really have any scaling heals or anything like that off of max HP. She's all about continuous heals, so it doesn't really matter if she has very high HP totals. She had 1200 defense, so between these two, no trouble keeping her alive. Oddly enough, she does have over 1100 attack, which is weird considering she has only 1 single target attack. So yeah, I guess if you want to build her for a surprise damage in Arena, go for it. Speed at 113, excellent, excellent. I think anything over 110 speed for a support is really, really good. And the rest of the stats are pretty standard. So when it comes to building your Senna, the only 3 stats that I focus on are speed, defense, HP. The only other one you might consider is resistance if you're trying to hit a specific threshold for certain content like Nightmare Hydra or Chimera, for example. But if you have her quick and survivable, then she's going to excel for you wherever you need her. So now let's take a look at some of the best builds for Senna, starting off with best arena builds. So for my money, the best arena build that you can put on Senna is going to be 1-turn Stone Skin, and 4-piece Supersonic. Now, Stone Skin in today's meta, unquestionably one of the best things you can do for your champions. There are so many sources of speed now with relics, and there's such fast champions out there that you can never really guarantee you're going to be going first. So making sure that you don't get crowd controlled, turn meter pushed back, or just outright nuked before you get a chance to take your first turn, Stone Skin is going to be so important for the arena. Senna is no exception. Now, the reason Supersonic is so good paired up with it is because as the enemy team puts buffs up, Senna is going to be gaining turn meter, which gives her a chance to cut in and potentially help your team catch back up in the turn meter race. So she's going to be getting a boost from Supersonic, then she can come in with her A2, increase your team's speed, increase turn meter, put up the continuous heals, and start ramping with her passive. So 1-turn Stone Skin and 4-piece Supersonic, best. After that, you can make an argument for 2-turn Stone Skin and just build her maybe as a high resist champion. That could be very effective. You could, of course, put her in 9-piece protection, especially if she's very fast, getting all that continuous heal up on your team that cannot be removed and continually ramp your team's turn meter is going to be helpful. Or you can go with 1-turn Stone Skin and Relentless. Relentless is also going to be a really great option, especially if you don't have any Supersonic gear. All those options are going to be effective in Arena. It's just going to be about whether you want to build her as a speedy champion or as a high resist champion. Now, when it comes to PvE, I think that there's a clear winner when it comes to sets, not only in terms of the utility, but also what it offers in terms of the raw stats for Senna, and that is going to be 9-piece protection. She puts up a lot of buffs. You want to make sure that those buffs don't get stripped or taken away in places like Chimera or Hydra, and keeping them protected with the 9-piece, and also giving your teammates 5% extra damage boost for each buff that's on them, along with these great stats, makes protection the #1 choice for sure for PvE. After that, of course, you can just go with raw stat sets, so you can put her in 6 pieces of speed if you want to, 6 pieces of impulse. You can put her in Relentless, matched up with those stat sets. Also excellent on her. Any chance that she gets to use her A1 and potentially trigger continuous heal on your team is going to be a massive turn meter ramp. So all those are going to be good options. After that, you can put her in pretty much whatever else you want. She doesn't really need anything like a regeneration set or self-heals because she brings those already. But if you want to bring her in something that can lower the cooldown on her abilities, let's say you're in a fight where you know you're going to be losing champs a lot and she's your only reviver, then having her in Reflex or in Impulse or in 4-piece Merciless or whatever can also be helpful for you. And beyond that, I would just go with stat sets, anything that gives her speed and survivability, and then you're going to be good to go. So with that, let's take a look at how I have my Senna built. Now, you already could probably see it's in 9-piece protection. We're going to have amazing stats. We're going to have protected buffs. We're going to have damage boost for my damage dealers. I am primarily looking to use her in Chimera. I haven't integrated her into my teams yet, but I know she's going to be an absolute beast there. So let's take a look at the individual pieces here. We have HP on the ring, HP on the amulet, HP on the banner. We've got HP again on the gauntlets. This could easily be defense, though, if you don't happen to have HP. And the same thing goes for any of the accessories. She's got HP on her chest plate, and then speed on the boots. These are not optimized. I'm using some of my fastest speed boots on other champions just because with the rest of this gear, I'm actually happy with where her speed is at. And let's take a look at those total stats right now. So we're at right under 92k total HP, 3100 round defense, 326 speed, and the rest of the stats I do not care about at all. With this, she is going to be excellent. I've already playtested just a little bit. I'm going to be coming out with some videos showcasing Senna in Chimera soon on my channel, so do keep an eye out on those. But this is exactly what I do need. If I wanted to, I would be increasing her resistance a little bit, but I'm planning on pairing her with champions that bring some increased resistance for the team, so she should have enough in those areas where I'm planning on using her. So with that, let's take a look at her relic. For my relic on Senna, I'm currently using the Journal of Necrotos. Pretty budget relic. It combos nicely with her already amazing turn meter fill, giving her even more for the team. So I thought that it made a lot of sense. If I were to consider another one from my options that I have on my account currently that are not equipped, I would consider going with a Perched Shadow. Gives her another chance to take extra turns, which means more A1s, more potential continuous heal activations. So that means more turn meter. I haven't actually tested these against each other. I will do that in the future, but for now, Both are excellent options on Senna for any account. If you're talking about best of the best relics or just other relics to consider, you can of course put her in any kind of a speed relic that you happen to have. If you have a hollowed hilt and want her to be your fastest champ in arena, great option. For arena, however, I would pretty much consider putting every single champ under Wand of Submission just to have a chance to throw stuns and anything else back at the opposing team if they're trying to get you. Demonic Effigy is a relic that I've used on a lot of my revivers in the past, and it's great, really good stats, and it gives you more turn meter whenever you need it, which is when a champion happens to die during an encounter that you are pursuing. So all good options right there. If you happen to have, as I already mentioned, Speed Relic, Chrysalid of Rebirth would be great on her. But again, if you are looking for more budget options, Perched Shadow, Journal of Necrotos, and Demonic Effigy are all great options for your Senna. So when it comes to blessings on your Senna Amberheart, you've got quite a few good options that you can choose. I decided to go with Nourish. This increases the value of the heals from Continuous Heal and also gives me at higher levels a chance to restore destroyed max HP. So I find that good in pretty much all content. Really nice. If you are in Arena, however, I think that if you want to make sure your Stone Skin stays exactly where it's supposed to stay, and that's on Senna and not getting stripped off, then Lightning Cage is a really good option for you. You can, of course, decide to put her as your Intimidating Presence user in any comp that she's on. She's a great carrier for this. You can also go with something like Temporal Chains to slow down the enemy team anytime that they're going to be ramping up with their buffs. That combos nicely with Supersonic, so she's going to be slowing their turn or decreasing their turn meter as she's going to be increasing her own, again, allowing her to cut in. So that's really, really good. If you have her at 6-star Awaken and you're bringing her for PvP, Polymorph is still so strong, incredibly strong, but I think that really good value out of Nourish in pretty much all content. For my masteries on Senna Amberheart, I decided to go down Support Tree Primary and pick up Timely Intervention for the same reason that I like using Demonic Effigy on some of my revivers, just to make sure they have turn meter exactly when they need it, when somebody gets low or when they get taken down. Lasting Gifts, a lot of value from this on Senna. She brings 3 different buffs on her A2, so this is so good on her. The rest of it is just increasing her stats with a little bit on Steadfast here or Lore of Steel from the protection sets, chance at getting her A2 and A3 off cooldown faster, and then she's going to be casting a lot of buffs and consuming the turn counter on those continuous heals, so more turn meter ramping from rapid response. Secondary went down the defense tree just to improve her survivability even more. Things like Blast Proof or Delay Death are going to be really helpful for that. If you want, you can, of course, decide to go with Elixir of Life instead of Timely Intervention if you're looking to increase your HP on Senna if she's not tanky enough. If you want to, you can, of course, also come down Primary Defense Tree if you're going for more of a high resistance build and pick up Unshakable, or you can go more standard on this. You can ignore the support tree altogether if you want to and come down and pick up War Master just to get a little bit more damage on some of those PvE encounters, or you can drop defense tree and end up doing the same thing. So primary offense with either secondary defense or support tree. So for the first showcase in today's video, we're going to be going into Doom Tower Hard. We got the popular Dark Fae rotation right now. We're going to go in on the 116th floor. Team that we put together is Senna as our speed lead. We've got Shayak and Krokod there as our damage combo, UDK to keep everybody alive from those single target hits. And then I've included Elva in this composition, but only for one reason, not as a backup reviver, but because Elva's A1 places a continuous heal every time she uses it, which combos really nicely with Senna. So let's just go in and see what this looks like. Really want to showcase that turn meter fill Energizer Bunny effect that Senna has on any team that she's part of. So, and that's what makes her especially good on any kind of prolonged encounters like Clan Boss. All right, so here we see, look, every time you see that little blue lightning animation around everybody, that is turn meter getting filled through Senna's passive. Constantly going off. As long as there's one continuous heal out there, then the team is going to be getting ramped. All our damage here is coming from the Krokod Shayak interaction, so anytime that Shayak gets hit, there's going to be a counterattack. Anytime that Shayak attacks with his A1, Krokod's going to join in. So that's how we're getting our damage. But the turn meter ramp is absolutely incredible. I mean, I've known it from looking at some of the top performing teams in Chimera, for example, where there's no turn limit in the sense like there is in Hydra, where you're limited to only 1,000 turns. In Chimera, it's very difficult to hit the top damage numbers or the turn limit on that one, but Senna is definitely one of the champions that helps you get there. So here we see that Krokod went down, and so now we had an ally attack upon his revival, which is another part of her kit. Really nice in areas where, you know, if you lose one of your DPS, for example, one of your damage dealers in Chimera, then you could lose a turn, but at least this way he's getting revived, coming back and immediately doing damage, so kind of helping make up for perhaps some of the lost damage from losing your damage dealer in the first place. But yeah, as long as there is at least one continuous heal out there, look at all that ramp. It is absolutely incredible how much turn meter fill Senna brings to a team. Truly the Energizer Bunny of Raid. For the first arena showcase in today's video, we're going to be going in against Wukong, Alice, Marichka, and Brogni. Team that we put together with Senna includes Shayak, Krokod for our damage, and UDK to try to keep everybody alive, since none of these three over here are in Stone Skin. So we're just going to go in on auto and watch the turn meter ramp magic happen. Now, a little bit of anti-synergy on our team because Senna is turn meter ramping, as you can see there, plus times two on everybody, popping up every time somebody uses a turn. Just so much turn meter ramp happening. The only issue is Senna is matched up with UDK. Now, UDK is meant to be slow and meant to survive the longest that he can under his stone skin and keep that passive assisting my team. If you saw there, activation from Senna's A1 was a ×3 boost to everybody on the team, which is just an example of how much ramp she really brings. But again, just to reiterate this point, if you're going to be bringing slow champions and you want to make sure that they are going to be doing their job as slow tanky champions, pairing them up with Senna is going to be ramping that turn meter, and UDK, as you saw there, was already starting to outrun his stone skin buff. So that's something to consider if you're going to be building a team around Senna for the arena. Next team up, we're going to be facing Arbiter, Hegemon, Wukong, and Alice. So let's see here. I hope that the Krokod gets taken out so that we can then showcase her revive. Let's see if this is going to work out. Okay. Good. It's working out so far. Alice, do you have damage? You do. Very nice. There's the revive. There's the ally attack. Since Krokod's A1 is AoE anyway, just able to pretty much wipe out the team there. But the target was the Wukong because of the lowest HP. And there you have a full momentum swing from my damage dealer going down to their whole team just getting decimated. And for the final showcase in today's video, we're going to be going up against a team with Arbiter, Alsgor, He-Man, and Marichka. I'm going to be taking this one off auto just because I really want to showcase that turn meter boost. I want to show how quickly a champ can get back to their turn after all the boosting that Senna's done. So here we have the initial continuous heals are out. Look at Senna already halfway to her turn. Really amazing. All right, let's take out the He-Man. Let's not him be a problem. Okay, there we go. Senna already at 100% turn meter, pretty much ready to go. All right, let's take out the Marichka here, and let's watch Krokod's turn meter here just get boosted once, again, and again. He's full already ready to go. Let's go ahead and put up a block buffs on them. Not that it's really needed now. One nice synergy, I guess, with UDK is he does bring continuous heals, which does work with Senna's passive. Nothing to really do here right now other than wait it out. All right, here, let's put up a taunt. Hopefully that gets the He-Man on us. Okay. And because we have the protected buffs, we're still able to keep some of those continuous heals rolling, keep the turn meter going. Once again, 60% shot. Nice boost there. Whew. Barely staying alive. Let's hope we can get to another turn here so that Senna can... Okay, nice. We got the Relentless going from... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and boost turn just to make sure she's next. I'm fairly certain there's no shot that she's not next. I was wrong? Okay, we just got it. Okay, here we go. He-Man should be gone right now. Big ally attack with everybody that was revived. Let's go ahead and take everybody out. with the A2. All right, and now, once again, He-Man should be gone. The rest of the team should be gone. But yeah, you saw there the ally attack coming into play from her AoE revive. You saw all the turn meter coming into play. She is a really great champion as long as you build the right team around her for Arena. I would consider going with a high resist build on her in Arena just because even though she doesn't bring a cleanse or anything like that, it is still nice to make sure that she can't be stopped from reviving if you need it, if she is going to be your only reviver. But again, I think what would push her down in the meta from being one of those top tier revivers is the fact that she is missing that cleanse in her kit. But other than that, amazing turn meter ramper and healer. And there you have it, everybody. Senna Amberheart. Healer, turn meter filler, reviver, one of the best supports in the game. If you liked today's video, please consider liking and subscribing for more content like this in the future. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any other champs or showcases that you'd like to see on my channel. Thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.